Jackson Podcast.
You know, everybody know about Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Aja Wilson, but the WNBA has came a long way with the Breonna Stewarts, the Sabrina, the Leah Bostons. It's a multitude of stars, and the WNBA is actually in a great place to move forward. And they are not paying their players, and they're not making a livable wage to me. Like $70,000. We living in different times in America right now. $70,000 is like the new 40. 5 years ago, $40,000 is what 70 is today. So something has to be done. Something has to be altered. But are the owners making enough money? Is the league making enough money to be able to enhance them? Because females, they want to make the same amount of money as the men. It seems like in all aspects of life right now that females are in competition with men when it shouldn't be like that, though, to be honest with you. My opinion, everything is not equal. The world is not like that. Black, white, race, all of that old type of stuff. Just nothing is equal, especially living in this capitalist society. But I want to read this article, play a few videos, get up to speed with this because I didn't watch the All-Star game. I really didn't watch the NBA finals. To me, it really wasn't that entertaining. But the league is in negotiation with its players over a new collective bargaining agreement at a time when the game is more popular than ever. So, we've been seeing these ladies on the court. They've been beefing, scratching, clawing, fighting, trying to be the next star. But they all came collectively in agreement with the finances. Pay us what you owe us. So when the WNBA biggest stars took court for the league's All-Star game in Indianapolis on Saturday night, every player on the floor wore a black t-shirt adorned with white lettering sharing a simple message. Pay us what you owe us. After a weekend of celebration for a league that continues to rise in popularity, the players' message was a reminder that they are still looking for a stronger financial foothold in a league that falls far behind its contemporaries in regard to how the athletes are paid. Since the last collective bargaining agreement between the WNBA and the Players Association was signed in 2020, the economics of the league have shifted rapidly. Should I play that video? Nah, it looked like a championship celebration. From 2019 to 2023, the WNBA revenue increased from 102 million to 119 million, according to Bloomberg. That was before Caitlin Clark's rookie season in 2024. Man, 100 million is almost like a season and a half for one NBA player. Like if we look at Shea Gildress Alexander, he's making 70 something million a year. That is their whole league is one player in the NBA's money. So, which aided one of the most important years in league history. With Clark in tow, the WNBA set record for merchandise last year and also had its most watched regular season in 24 years. We know Shaq and RG3 had they back and forth about Angel Reese, him beefing with Angel Reese, RG3 defending Caitlin Clark. I think when this money come and they're giving all the praise to Caitlin Clark with the elevation of the league, that when they cut her check, it's gonna have some people hot because they're gonna cut her a big, big, big check that's gonna be far beyond anybody else's check because they're giving her all the credit for the elevation of the league. So far this season, the league's average attendance is the highest it has ever been, according to Across the Timeline. The WNBA has responded to the explosion with expansion. The league will increase to 18 teams by 2030. We need one in Charlotte. Nah, no, we don't. Hornets need to win something first, man. Hornets can't beat me out that much. I can get 5 people from the YMCA, old niggas, beat the Hornets. Inc- increasing to 18 teams by 2030, adding franchises in Portland, Toronto, Cleveland, Detroit, and Philadelphia over the next 5 years. See, they ain't even thinking about Charlotte. The Golden State Valkyries became the Dubs' 13th team this season. The Cleveland, Detroit, and Philadelphia ownership groups will also pay a $250 million expansion fee. a substantial increase over the 50 million the Valkyries paid in 2023. One thing that the ladies got to realize too, that it took a long time for the NBA to become like very profitable. If you think about it, the NBA is almost like 50 years older than the WNBA. And when Bird and Magic they they brought the excitement to the NBA, then the money started increasing. Then Jordan came and the money started increasing. So you got to think about over time, things will get better. And I see that with the WNBA, with the excitement of the league and all of that. On top of all of that, the WNBA also signed a new television rights deal last summer that will reportedly pay the league $2.2 billion over the next 11 years, an average of $200 million a season. Now, they want the same money as men, but this is 11 years, $2.2 billion. So I'm gonna look at the NBA's TV deal because I don't want to do this comparison, this comparison thing with the finances because I feel like it's gonna take time, ladies, and people don't feel like or want to agree that it's gonna take time, but it's gonna take time. So 2.2 billion over the next 11 years. So I just Googled the NBA this season, this year, has finalized a new media rights deal worth of $76 billion over the next 11 years. So it's really not no comparison. That's $74 million more. I'm not in disagreement with the ladies. I feel like things should be equal, but it's just not. In all aspects of life, it's just not. Black people want to be equal rights to white people. Um, Disenfranchised individuals want equal rights to franchise individuals. Uh, Latinas want to be able to come over here illegally and become a U.S. citizen. It is what it is. It's rules, laws, and regulations, and popularity. Also, the biggest issue for the players then is how to capitalize on the increase in interest around the game with a new economic model. The WNBPA opted out of the CBA agreement last year, and the deal will expire on October the 31st unless a new agreement is reached. Currently, WNBA players receive only 9.3% of league revenue, according to Market Watch. Wow. WNBA players receive only 9.3% of league revenue. So, what all does league revenue go to? And how can they get more of a percentage of that also? So here we go. Wow, they get the least amount. Look at that. Look at that chart, y'all. Can y'all see that chart? Hold on, let me look. So on this chart, the WNBA is receiving 9.3. The NFL players receive 48%. The NBA players receive 49% of league revenue. The NHL hockey receives 50% of league revenue. So something has to be done behind it. They need to get some sort of I know the NBA players have some sort of group that represents them. I don't know if the WNBA has that, but that is a crime. And something has to be done by that. You know what I'm gonna say before I get into the videos, because I want to play videos and see what the lady's saying. I don't want to continue to read the article, even though this was a good article. This is according to NBC News. So that was a good article. But what something I want to say, I dare the WNBA players to do. And people may think that I'm crazy for saying this, but walk out. Y'all can come to agreement during the All-Star game for a complaint because y'all don't, feel as if y'all getting the money that y'all deserve. If y'all walk out, woo, and say we deserve more than 9.3%, that'll change some shit. Most definitely will. It'll change something. So let me get into some video and see what these people talking about. Real talk. Turn my jazz music off. I'm just chilling today, man. I hope y'all having a great day also, man. I wasn't planning on creating content until this weekend though, but it's some things that has happened that I need to address. And I appreciate y'all for tuning in to my show. Hit the like button if you want to see me evolve this thing and help me get into the algorithm. Share the show if you rocking with your boy. And if you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Let's get to the video though.
On a night when the WNBA's biggest stars shared a single stage, a single wardrobe choice put their future in the spotlight.
There's not going to be another time this year before the CBA gets done that we're all together like this. You have to take advantage of those because it doesn't happen often.
Despite winning All-Star MVP, the Lynx' Nafisa Collier spent most of her time post-game talking about that pre-game statement.
We feel like we are owed a piece of that pie that we helped to create. So that's basically what that is.
I love that slogan, pay us what you owe us. It is the case. They're not asking for charity. They're not asking for a handout. They're saying, look, we've built up a business for you. We're the ones that people are coming to see. Pay us for doing that.
David Berry is a professor of economics at Southern Utah University who spent the past decade tracking the WNBA's pay disparity.
WNBA players get less than 7% of the revenue. The top salary in the WNBA right now is less than $250,000. The NBA 50 years ago was paying its top players $400,000 a year. And that was in a league. The NBA only had $30 million in revenue 50 years ago. The WNBA has $300 million in revenue. We also know that with the new television deal, it'll be at least $500 million.
We want a fair and reasonable percentage of that.
What would that look like?
That's a great question. Fairly depends on how much revenue does the WNBA have. Now, if it's $500 million and the players get half, like the NBA does, if there's $250 million to split up and you have less than 250 people, the average has to be more than $1 million per player.
NBA owners, who still control more than half of WNBA teams, have long countered that the women's game is still losing money, something Berry and many others openly question.
There is no evidence the WNBA doesn't make money. They never open their financial books and say, hey, we're not making any money. They don't say that. They just assert it, even though that's not believable because revenues have exploded.
And he says revenues aren't even the most compelling argument.
You have all these cities lining up wanting expansion franchises. So you have these huge increase in franchise values. The investors are putting money into this. How can you claim they're not making? Why are the investors investing then?
And a telling sign of that growing skepticism came after the All-Star game, when fans interrupted the commissioner with "pay them" chants during Collier's trophy presentation.
The fans doing that chant, that was like, gave me chills.
That's a very good sign because that's what the women did in soccer. They got the fans behind them. And you got to get the fans on your side so that when the NBA makes their argument, nobody's agreeing with them.
Yep. Everything he said. Also, according to the league, got more statistics for you. Viewership, it's up 23%. Attendance at games, up 26%. Merchandise sales are exploding. They're up 40%.
I'm going to tell y'all something, though. This is new. They're going to have to show that they can sustain that. It can't just be up 1 year, 2 years. They're going to have to show that they can be competitive and sustain that. Right now, and I feel like the WNBA is more exciting to watch than the NBA. No cap. The reason I say that is because they're physical. In the NBA, I don't like seeing men. You can't touch a man. They falling and flopping. 250-pound men flopping on the ground. I just don't. That's lame as hell to me. And LeBron James is part of the reason that that's popularized, that flopping type stuff. That ain't for me. They getting more physical. They might can't dunk, but they getting more physical. And I seen where I think that was Shaquille O'Neal said, lower the goal. Lower it to 9 inches where they can dunk and it'll be more exciting. I agree with that, man. Because they don't have they want to be equal. They don't have the same muscle and tissue as men. I'm just sorry. Lower the goal to keep it more exciting. You may not want that. You may want to be equal in all aspects, but, not trying to say that men are more dominant than women, but from a physical aspect, that might be a fact. But to me, women have attributes that are more dominant than men. Men have some attributes that's more dominant than women. Lower the goal. Real talk. Let me get into one more video, though, with y'all, because this is interesting to me, man. See what the lady's saying about this.
And everyone seems to be having a good time. I guess I'm just curious. I don't know that you guys have this intention going. It seems like you're just trying to have fun, but do you think it maybe showed kind of some of that camaraderie in the league, especially when there's a lot of, I feel like, misconceptions of like
Yeah.
players jealous and
Yeah. I mean, I think it was dope just for everybody to see, like, we really are a community, like the gay community, but the girly community, the W community. And we show each other love all the time. So I think it was nice just to have everybody be able to kind of look in on how we give it up.
What was the reception like with the shirt you guys wore pre-game, and kind of what did the league say about that?
I mean, I don't know what the league said about it. I know that we wanted to obviously send a powerful message, and that's what we did.
you're obviously in the CBA talks. I know a little bit stressful. You know, you came back and were just face planted on the bed there. After
Stressed
one of
out.
those games. But I guess I'm curious, like, what was the biggest, I guess, takeaway? How do you think they went, and what's next for you guys in negotiations?
I think it's just getting what we deserve. I think sometimes people don't understand what it is that we're asking for, but as long as we stay together, the W community stays together, the girlies stay together, we're gonna get what we deserve, and we standing on business.
All right, what are you asking for then?
What do you mean what we asking for?
Well, I mean, lay it
We
out.
asking for what we deserve.
Okay.
So you'll see.
In terms of the revenue share. And
Yeah. It's all the same thing, man. Like I said, it's the work that has been put in. So we just want a piece of our pie. That's it.
Court, when you see the salary caps extending for other sports like the NBA, the NFL, year after year, how frustrating is that for you guys, knowing that you still haven't gotten a slice of the pie that you deserve?
I mean, we gonna get what we deserve. I feel like you can't count other people's blessings. Everything is a process. Everything is a journey. Right now, we in ours. We in our process. We in our journey. So, I mean, as long as we just continue to, like I said, stand together, stand on business, we gonna get what we deserve.
I mean, is the league receptive though? I mean, you're saying you're gonna get what you deserve, but it takes two to tango.
Exactly. So we tangoing. You feel me? I can't tell you what the dance gonna end at, but we dancing.
you had the commissioner dancing.
You know what I'm saying? We here.
Could go any better, but could the CBA talks have gone better potentially?
They could have gone better, yeah. We definitely have a ways to go, but it's always nice to get in person. I think that's a lot better than going back and forth through paperwork and lawyers. So I'm glad that we got to do that at least.
What was the message you guys wanted to send with the pregame shirts that you wore? And do you feel like the message was delivered?
I think it was delivered. I mean, it's exactly what was on the shirts, like pay us what you owe us. And that's the number one thing that we went into these negotiations with is salary and rev share. It's what we said from the beginning we're not budging on, and I think we got that point across.
Are you able to disclose like what you guys are looking for in terms of like revenue percent share, or is that kind of being kept close to the vest?
Yeah, not really. We can't really talk about numbers.
There, especially with, as you point out, a lot of online hate, a lot of sort of just, I think, negative voices around, oh, they're jealous, they hate each other, that sort of thing. How important do you think it was just in this moment for folks to see that sisterhood, that camaraderie?
Well, I know I felt like the experience was very cathartic because of, what maybe sort of the wrong narrative that's out there that's being pushed and seems to be maybe louder than what the actual reality is for these players. And so I think being able to kind of, push that aside and say, that's not what's real. This is what's real. And now we're going to get back to being competitive, and that's okay. But as you saw, you can be competitive and you can have moments on the court. But then, they all genuinely care about each other and root for each other. They certainly want, what they want for themselves. But that was, I thought, maybe one of the best things that come from that was to kind of show what really exists and kind of drown out the stuff that's fake news, if you will.
Where did that negative narrative come from, you think?
We didn't always have it. It feels like it came in with the last draft class. New eyes that were unfamiliar, I think, with the league, and getting to know the league a little better for them probably would have been a good idea. But that seems like where it started. I don't. We have dealt with for years, the negative commentary about basically the WNBA. We've dealt with that for years, right? And women in history have dealt with that. So that wasn't necessarily new, comments to posting something simple as a score, and you.
I'm gonna close this video off with something because I've been Googling ever since we've been watching those videos or whatever though. But I was wondering if the WNBA had a collective bargaining agreement, and it ended in 2024, and they're renegotiating right now. And I think that they're doing a good thing by renegotiating. But I want to say something that is maybe something that people can argue on here is women deserve the same rights as men in all aspects of life. But with those rights and with those opportunities and finances, are they going to have the same accountability? Obtaining those finances and having the same accountability is something that isn't discussed. Year in and year out, you ain't going to be able to complain about anything. Now, their collective bargaining agreement and the players association, the players committee or whatever, I don't know if they're doing a good job representing the women, because that's something that the the NBA does well. They represent the players well, and they only let people speak on certain topics that can be conversed in a good manner. But the accountability factor, though, man, I want to see these women get paid, but I don't. I that's interesting. That's all I'm gonna say. Hey, man, I appreciate y'all supporting my content. This is an interesting topic that I think I will be back touching basis on, in a few weeks or whatever, or when the season ends. Thank y'all for tuning in to my show, man. Peace, love, plenty of abundance. Make sure you go get you some money, and I'm gone. Chill.
The Trevor Jackson Podcast.